welcome back to the channel. And today my spring wrap up, all the books that I read this spring. Now it was a really good spring for me compared to last spring where I maybe only read like kind of 6 or 7 books. This spring I managed to read 13, which is really good for me. Being a slow reader, it's very difficult for me to get into double digits every quarter, but this quarter I certainly did. And I can't believe it was all the way back 7th of March or something when I started The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie, the last book in the First Lord trilogy, and that really started my spring. And I followed that up with the first book second book in fact in Roger's cheap old book club, which was The Forgotten Planet, and here I just have a print on demand copy. That's quite a quick read. I then went back to the completely works of Sherlock Holmes and read the second novel in the Sherlock Holmes series of novels. There's only actually 4 full-length novels in here. Most of them are short stories or novellas, and it was The Sign of the Four from there. I went back to The Faithful and the Fallen, and the second book in that was Valor. Quite a chunky boy, that one, so that took me a while. Spring was really cooking by this point. As is the weather today, it's quite warm. Next was a new release, The Way of Edan. Very good book, this one. The reviews for all of these up on my channel, so if you are interested in any of these, please take a look. Next, we're back to Roger's cheap old book club, The New Arabian Nights that I read from this very old turn of the century edition. Another series I've been reading is the Poirot novels by Agatha Christie, and it was an Agatha Christie weekend event, so I read Poirot Investigates for that. Next up was another new release. This time it was a release of some older works here by Tolkien. This was The Homecoming and The Battle of Maldon. Very interesting if you're into like your history and your poetry. Then this beast, the complete and uncut The Stand, the 1990 re-release of The Stand. Terry Pratchett, my third entry into the Discworld, was this, Guards, and my favourite in the series so far. Another momentum-killing mammoth, as they call them, or certainly Michael K. Vaughan does. Ship of Destiny. It was almost 900 pages. Very good novel. This is the first book in Life Ship Traders, or the 4th book in Realm of the Elderlings. Back to Roger's cheap old book club for The Three Impostors, a horror novel. Haven't read too many horror novels this year, but most of them tend to come courtesy of Michael. The Three Impostors. And then on to my recent reads. So I recently got done with Taipan, the second book in the timeline order of the Asian saga, or the first book, I believe, no, the second book in publishing order by James Clavell. And then the book I'm literally getting finished with now, which is book 1 in Dresden Files, Stormfront. So a bit of a smaller one, a little bit of a break for me from those beasts that I've been reading. And yeah, this is interesting so far. My thoughts will be coming out about that shortly. And that was my spring, an uptick in page count and book count for this quarter, and hopefully that rolls in momentum wise in with the summer. I will see you soon, hopefully, if you're coming back for my summer TBR. Thanks for dropping in.